Hello my friends, welcome back to John's Kitchen, John style. Today we are going to make a delicious dish. I'm going to make Swiss steak. Swiss steak, I have a piece of pepperoni here. I'm going to cut it thick steaks. I'm going to pound them, season it, put some flour in it. I'm going to braise them and cook it in liquid. Okay. I have a piece of pepperoni here, and like I say, I'm going to cut it thick steaks. I'll do this right now. Now that we have the steaks already cut, I'm going to season the steaks with salt and pepper on both sides. You can, to your own taste, you can use the amount of salt and pepper that you guys like. Okay. I'm going to mix it. Here I have 2 teaspoons of salt. I have got a teaspoon of pepper. That's what I'm going to use. I put in this plate, I put some all-purpose flour. The steaks, I'm going to dip it in the flour, and then we are going to pound it. Now to pound the steaks, I'll be using plastic wrap I'm going to put the steaks over the plastic wrap, cover it, and I'm going to pound it until about half of the thickness. These steaks are about half an inch thick, so I'm going to pound it about half the size of what it is right now. I'm going to use this mullet, okay, it has like a little teeth in here, and then it's going to make the steak even flattened all around it, okay? Turn it around, and you do the same thing with the other side. And now we have a thinner and wider steak, okay? And remember, when we braise it, the size of it is going to reduce a lot, okay? The steaks are already pounded. After I pounded them, the thickness of it is half of what it was before, okay? Now I'm gonna let it rest, okay? So the flavor of the salt and pepper penetrates in it. At the meantime, I'm gonna do something else. I have tomatoes here, plant tomatoes, 3 pounds of plant tomatoes. That is I'm gonna make sauce for the Swiss steak, okay? I have boiling water here in this pot. I'm going to remove the eye of the tomato, like that. At this other end, the other end, I will make like a cross with a knife, just to cut a little bit the skin. I'll be doing this with all the tomatoes, the peppers of that. After the water is boiling, I'm going to put the tomatoes for a few seconds on the boiling water and take it out, and then I will skin it and remove the seeds of the tomatoes. I have the water boiling in there already, and I'm going to put the tomatoes to cook in there. I cool the tomatoes with cold water because it's easier to peel it. You don't burn your fingers, okay? Now the skin will come out very easy. I left them in the boiling water for about 40 seconds. Don't worry if you have it for more time, because you are going to make a sauce with it anyway. The tomatoes now, I cut them in half, and I have a strainer here. I'm going to squeeze the tomatoes so the seeds come off, and of course the juices will come out too. That's why I'm using the strainer, because I want to save the juices. I have in here the tomato juices that I saved. Remove the seeds from the plant tomatoes. Now I will dice them. I'm gonna dice it as small cubes. Now the diced tomatoes, I'm gonna use 1 cup of the diced tomatoes. I'm gonna make it puree. Okay. I have in here some of the tomato juice that I saved. I'm going to put a little bit in there to make it easier to make a puree in the blender. The tomatoes, I put it in this blender and made a puree. I'm going to put it together with the rest of the juices, the rest of the tomato juices. And now we are going to prep the rest of the ingredients. Now here we have the rest of the ingredients. I already showed you before, we have the puree of tomatoes that I made with the plant tomatoes. Here I have the diced tomatoes, and here I have 1.5 cups of beef broth. You don't have beef broth and you have beef bouillon, you can mix boiling water with the beef bouillon, and that should do it. I have 1 teaspoon salt. Never mind 1 teaspoon, you can add whatever the amount of salt you need later on. 1/4 teaspoon pepper, same thing. It's up to you how much you want to use. I have 1/4 teaspoon thyme leaves. I prefer to use fresh thyme leaves, but now we are in winter. I was not able to get it close to where I live. Here I have 1 bay leaf. Okay, I have 1/2 teaspoon oregano, 3 garlic cloves. I had to mince the garlic cloves or chop it up. Okay, I have 2 peeled carrots. I'm going to cut it in slices. I have a little bit of parsley here. I'm going to chop it up, the parsley. And I have 1 small onion. I'm going to cut it in julienne. And I have 1 cup of wine. Make sure you use a good wine, and you can use whatever red wine you like it, okay? Even you can use white wine if you want to. What I'm using here right now is a little bit of Cabernet Sauvignon, okay? I love Merlot too. It's another very good wine for the sauces. So now I'm going to mince the garlic, slice the carrots, julienne the onions, and chop the parsley. Now we have all the ingredients that we need to start cooking the beef. Okay, we have the chopped onions, parsley, this is for the end. We have the julienne of onions, sliced carrots. First step, we are going to brown the beef, okay? Both sides in a saute pan with a little bit of high roll. I just heating it up, this saute pan with vegetable oil. And I have in here a baking pan made of clay. And then I have the steaks. Then I'm gonna brown them in the saute pan. I'm gonna put it in this baking pan. So we are browning the beef on both sides. We have browned all the beef already, and here in the pan there is the brown bits, part of the beef we were cooking. Don't throw it out. We are going to add just a little bit of oil to it, and we are going to saute onions, garlic, and carrots together with the herbs, and then we are going to deglaze it with the wine. Okay, so here we are cooking the garlic, onions, carrots, everything together. Okay, I'm trying to loosen up the bits of the flour that stick to the bottom when we were cooking the beef. That will give it a nice brown taste to the sauce. Now the onions are getting a little brown, and the garlic too. I'm going to add the fresh herbs. The dry herbs. I wish I could have the fresh herbs. I was not able to get it. Now I'm adding the wine. I'm going to add only wine, and I'm going to let it reduce. I want the alcohol to evaporate. The wine is already reduced, so now I'm going to add the bay leaf and the rest of the stuff, or the ingredients. I have the sauce boiling. I'm gonna let it simmer now, and I will add to it half of the chopped parsley. I'm gonna put about 1 tablespoon chopped parsley. I'm gonna put half teaspoon sugar and salt. I'm gonna add the 1 teaspoon of salt to it. Okay. I will cover this baking pan with aluminum paper and put it in the oven to cook for about an hour and a half. I want the beef nice and soft, but not falling apart, okay? It has to be soft, but not falling apart. It's no good when it starts falling apart. I have the beef already cooked. All it took was 1 hour for the steaks to get soft. I tasted the sauce, it's delicious. We finished cooking the beef. Like I said, all it took it was 1 hour for the beef steaks to be soft. I don't like them overcooked. I don't like them falling apart. Okay, I like to use a little bit my knife into the beef. Here I made a dish. It looks so beautiful. The sauce very good, excellent the sauce. And I serve it with a little bit of, the ingredients it has there: onions, tomatoes, a little bit of sliced carrots, the sauce. And this goes well with the nice mashed potatoes or roasted potatoes. Both of them goes good with it. Okay, my friends, I hope you guys enjoyed the way I did making this recipe, and I hope I see you soon with another delicious dish. Thank you, my friends. Have a good day, and remember, whatever happens in your kitchen stays in your kitchen.